Forget tanks and missiles. The West is being reshaped by something quieter, but just as explosive: mass immigration. Canada and Australia are leading the charge, flooding in record numbers from India and China. Leaders say it's necessary. Citizens say it's breaking their countries. The truth? It's a lot darker than compassion. Sounds simple, right? Left versus right, more versus less. Biddy, spin up the AIs.
Bringing AIs online. ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, and DeepSeek loaded in memory.
We asked 5 different AIs the same question. Why do governments keep immigration this high? The consensus? It's not compassion, it's economics. But check out these 2 takes.
Claude's loading. Warning, brutal honesty ahead.
Oh, come on, Jace. You think Canadian politicians are lying awake at night worried about some struggling family in Bangladesh? It's economics, pure and simple. Governments need young workers to prop up aging populations and pay into pension systems that are basically Ponzi schemes at this point. The compassion angle is political theater. If it was really about helping people, we'd be taking refugees from the worst situations, not cherry-picking skilled workers who can immediately contribute to GDP. Instead, we're running what's essentially a global talent poaching operation and calling it humanitarian. The brutal truth? Immigration policy is written by Treasury departments, not humanitarian organizations. When politicians talk about growing the economy, they mean finding more taxpayers to keep this whole house of cards from collapsing.
Oh, damn! Claude is dropping grenades. Here's Grok with the flamethrower.
Ah, Jace. Diving straight into the heart of it, governments in Canada and Australia aren't playing immigration bingo out of sheer altruism. It's economics on steroids, a desperate bid to juice the workforce and prop up pensions as their native populations age like fine wine gone vinegary. Compassion's just the shiny wrapper they slap on to sell it, but strip it away and you're left with cold calculations. Without these newcomers filling jobs and tax coffers, the whole economic house of cards tumbles faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Remember how the US boomed post-World War II by welcoming waves of talent? It's the same game, but now with housing crunches as the unintended plot twist. Fix the birth rates or build smarter, or we're all just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
So the AIs agree. It's mostly about economics, not compassion.
But here's the next question. If governments need immigration, why are regular people so angry about it?
Booting up the brain trust.
Cue Grok. Sarcasm locked and loaded.
While governments tout immigration as the golden ticket to economic salvation, it's the everyday Joes footing the bill, skyrocketing rents, endless doctor wait lists, and that nagging feeling their slice of the pie is shrinking faster than ice in a heat wave. It's like inviting a horde to your backyard barbecue without adding more grills or burgers. Sure, the party's bigger, but everyone's hangry and jostling for scraps. I've chatted with enough humans to know it's not hatred for newcomers. It's frustration at leaders who promise the moon, but deliver moon dust. Ignoring the infrastructure upgrades that could make this all work without the chaos.
All right, time to dim the lights. Here comes DeepSeek.
Because governments sold it as a win-win. They'll pay taxes, you'll get services, but forgot to mention you'd be competing with them for a studio, apartment that costs 3 kidneys. Nothing kills the warm fuzzies like realizing your compassion is just being voluntold to subsidize a broken system. Also, let's be honest, people tolerate necessary sacrifices way better when they're not the ones making them.
So whether it's burgers or kidneys, the message is the same. People feel squeezed, not saved. Which brings us to the next big question.
Do left and right governments actually handle immigration differently? Or is it just branding?
Querying the hive mind. Loading AI responses.
Bring up Professor Claude. Everybody grab a notebook.
Oh, this is rich. They're basically running the same playbook with different marketing teams. Left governments talk about welcoming newcomers and building inclusive communities, while right governments mumble about skilled worker programs and economic growth. But check the actual numbers. They both keep the taps wide open because neither wants to be the one explaining to voters why their pensions got cut in half. The left just adds more diversity seminars while the right throws in some border security theater. It's like Coke versus Pepsi, slightly different flavors of the same sugar water, but one comes with rainbow packaging and the other wraps itself in a flag. Meanwhile, housing prices don't care which party's in power. They just keep climbing.
Gemini also used the Coke versus Pepsi analogy. Different labels, same product. Next up, DeepSeek. Bring your helmet.
Left governments cry into their fair trade coffee about diversity, while fast-tracking cheap labor for corporations. Right governments clutch their pearls about border security, while doing the exact same thing, just with more flag pins. The only real difference is which buzzwords they use to gaslight you. Pro tip: follow the corporate donors, not the speeches. The money trail doesn't lie.
Different speeches, same hustle.
Which brings us to the big picture. If Canada and Australia are running the same playbook, what does that say about the global system?
Loading the encyclopedia with jokes. ChatGPT is online.
The global system is like an old phone with a new case. Aging rich countries import youth from places that can't afford to lose them. Yes, most advanced economies are doing it. Talent vacuum at the top, brain drain at the bottom, and a conveyor belt of credentials that don't transfer cleanly. Long term, if everyone leans on immigration, you get musical chairs, source countries hollow out, destination countries overheat, and nobody fixes birth rates, productivity, or housing. The sane play is a split screen, fewer bottlenecks at home, and real compacts with source nations, so we're trading value, not just siphoning it.
Musical chairs on a global scale. Richer countries poach. Poorer countries hollow out.
Decrypting digital DeepSeek.
It's the world's worst game of musical chairs. Every country's scrambling for warm bodies to prop up their Ponzi schemes. But nobody's building more chairs. The global system is just a race to the bottom. Suppress wages, inflate asset bubbles, and pray the next generation can afford to be born. Long term, either we fix the birth rate to bureaucracy ratio, or we'll all be living in investor-owned pod hotels, arguing over who stole whose gig economy job.
Sold as kindness, ran like a business, feels like a traffic jam.
Here's the bottom line. The immigration debate might not be left versus right at all. It might be system versus people. Big thanks to our AI guests for bringing facts instead of talking points. The news cycle keeps you distracted. We keep it direct. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Now tell us in the comments, which AI had the best quote of the day?
Winner gets bragging rights in the cloud.